Welcome back to Chasing Whiskey.
I'm James.
And I'm Terry. And this is our tour of Scotland. This is our second stop on our tour of Scotland.
And where are we today?
We're still in the Highlands. We haven't gone far. But we have a couple glasses and we've got a new bottle. Let's see what James brought here. James, what'd you bring?
Picked this up today. It is Tomatin.
Tomatin.
Tomatin. What do you think of the presentation?
I like the box. It's very nice. I love the color. Yeah, it's very nice. What do you think? Should we dive right into it?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's do that. So another Highland Scotch.
Nice printed on...
A little pattern on the inside.
On the inside. All right. This is one of my favorite parts.
Oh, logo's facing the other way. Whoop, there we go. Oh,
that is nice.
It doesn't take much to impress us.
And there's lots to look at on the box in a bit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay,
yeah.
So here's the bottle. Very, very pleasant looking. And on the back, what we went, ooh. Don't know if you guys can pick that out, but it's nicely embossed.
It is. Yeah, that's really nice.
Shall we?
Yeah, pour us up. So one of the things I had committed to last week was learning a little bit more about the Highlands. And so I think as we tour Scotland, we'll try to learn a little bit more about the regions. I did a little bit of research. I've got some notes, so you'll see me looking down. What is on the top?
Cannot tell.
I can't tell what it is either. Now we have a mystery.
I don't know which way is up. But it's embossed nicely. Okay, sorry, keep going.
That's okay.
Oh wait,
no, that's okay.
Favorite part.
Yeah. No, the favorite part's drinking.
Very nice. Okay.
Very nice.
Go on.
Yeah, so the Highlands, as we talked about 3 or 4 episodes ago, we talked about the regions at a high level. There's obviously the northern part of Scotland. So first of all...
Well, that's pretty.
Yeah. You caught something, didn't you? You caught a note of something. Isn't that funny? The first whiff every now and then catches you.
It's like a floral bouquet. Or...
I don't know what I'm picking up. But now that you say floral, I smell floral, but I have no idea if that's why. Anyway, there's the color in the glass. Okay, cheers. Cheers. Very traditional for me. Very nice. Nothing unusual. Like last
Highlands.
week, it was a surprise last week. The Pulteney, or the Old Pulteney was a bit different. This is very traditional.
A lot going on.
It is a lot going on. It's smooth but complex, just like the last one. It's a little bit of harsh at the end.
Bitter
right?
at the end.
Yeah. I feel that coming in now.
That was the Old Pulteney. It didn't have...
No, there was no sharp edges to that.
Yeah.
It was smooth, but a lot of different flavor, but it was smooth.
Which is interesting because I prefer something
little
this.
Kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Not that I didn't prefer the Old Pulteney.
That
was
beautiful. Yeah.
One of my favorites.
What's your favorite of this 10 so far? Yeah, so in the Highlands is it's half the land of Scotland, 5% of the population. So it's very sparsely populated. It's very mountainous. The tallest mountain in all of the British Isles is in the Highlands.
Okay.
In fact, the tallest 75 mountains in all the British Isles are actually in Scotland, of which the vast majority of those are in the Highlands region.
So I guess that's why they call it that?
Yeah, it's a very mountainous region. In my research, the thing that impressed me the most was the pictures. Oh my goodness. Like, I know we're trying to travel virtually with Scotch, but now I really, really, really want to go. It is absolutely stunning.
Especially if we can.
Oh, we're doing the tours of the distilleries if we can ever go again. So what do you think? Any flavor that you're pulling out?
Not just the flavor, but I find this one, the smell as you're drinking is so complementary to what I'm tasting.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's
definitely fruity, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit about Tomatin.
Oh, do you know where it's from?
Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting. So the Highlands are broken down in basically into the compass, right? So northeast,
Yes.
southwest, because it's such a broad geographical area.
Yep.
So what region is it from? Because we'll see if it actually pairs with the notes on what that region's typically known for.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
What's the capital of the Highland region?
I have no idea.
It is Inverness.
I guessed. I should have guessed. Yeah.
And the reason I know that is because this is about 16 miles south
Of Inverness.
of Inverness.
But I don't know where Inverness is on the map.
There's a prominent river, I believe it's the longest river in Scotland, runs right through. It's a small town. I think there's a couple hundred people that live there.
Oh, wow.
And
Are they all employed by the distillery?
farms, the
Farms and
distillery.
distillery. Yeah, okay.
I think they make 5 million liters
A year? That's very
a
big.
year.
Respectable for sure.
And I'm not sure how I feel about this because I'm looking for the traditional, right? Owned by Japan, a Japanese.
Have they always been, or is it was it purchased by?
1986.
Yeah, that's commerce, my friend. That's the way
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the traditions aren't being held
That's true.
strong and full, and maybe they would have been gone if they weren't invested in by.
Well, in
foreign
fact, I
investors.
think they did go bankrupt.
So I think that's probably south then. So in the south, they tend to be lighter, fruitier, and very dry. Would you describe this as dry? I would.
I'm not sure what dry tastes like.
Okay, valid point. I think we need A/B comparison to say this is a dry whiskey and this isn't. So the most popular Scotch from the southern region of the Highlands we've already had. It's Aberfeldy.
Oh,
Which is interesting. In the north,
and that's the most popular.
in the south of the Highlands. So there's
Right,
there's
the
about 25.
compass,
Yeah.
right.
So there's 25 distilleries roughly, if you give any given day in the Highlands. Obviously, just like Tomatin, there's turnover, right? So, but 25 distilleries. The north is known for having big-bodied, cereal, sweet flavored whiskeys. And Dalmore, which you may have heard of, which we haven't tried yet, is from that area.
Okay. So we could almost
We can
just focus on the Highlands.
Yeah, 25. I mean, that's half a year for us in terms of tastings, right? So, but we'll do our full tour. East has some full-bodied dry whiskeys as well that have a lot of fruit. And Glengarry, which is spelled way different than it's pronounced, is from that region. We haven't had that or even seen that. And I pulled a list of everything we can get locally, and I don't even see that on the list. The south, of course, is I'm guessing Tomatin, we could be wrong, and Aberfeldy, which we've tried. Western is actually where the majority of the, so you've got the mountains, and then after the mountains, you have the coastal area, right? So even though there's coast along the north and along a bit of the west as well, the west is predominantly coast, right? So if you picture it. And so that's where you'll get some more maritime-y flavored ones.
Maybe.
Right. So Old Pulteney, which we had last week,
Which was fantastic.
is from that area. So you have a little bit more peaty sometimes, some smoky overtones. Peat likes to grow in mossy areas, and so the closer you're to the coast, the more likely you have some mossy areas, right? So I found that really interesting. But the largest producer in the region is a company called Glen Ord. And Glen Ord, you will not have heard of. And do you know why you would not have heard them?
Nope.
They exclusively ship to Southeast Asia. They don't sell anywhere else.
Interesting.
So you can't even buy. Now, there are companies that will import it from, but it goes to Southeast Asia first, and you can buy it from collectors, resellers, things like that. But so their entire market is Southeast Asia, and they produce 11.5 million liters a year. They are the largest distiller in the Highlands.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed the research and the read and the pictures. And some of them I did on YouTube and the videos.
I'm telling you, Scotland is...
Oh, it's beautiful. We do need to physically go. So we'll do the virtual tour. We'll probably
We could take the channel on tour.
Yeah, we'll do that eventually when we're allowed to. Yeah. What do you think? Dram 2, a little bit of water, see if it changes anything?
So, go on the record in flavors you're pulling out?
Let's do the water and see if
forgot.
it helps. Because I'm not pulling any individual flavors at all. It is a little bit sweet. It's not overly sweet at all, but it does have a sweetness for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. Some can be so sweet, you'd almost have to be in the mood for it. This is not that.
But there is a nice sweetness to it. It's not harsh. It's
I like the little bitterness at the end. I find some whiskeys you might enjoy the taste of the front end, but then it gives I like the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
All right, what do you got? Oh.
Well, I'm gonna smell first. Then I'll cheers you. I don't think it changed much, did it? You smell caramel? Well, now that you say it, I do too. But it's now that you say it. So would I pull that anyway? I don't know. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Or caramelly fruit. All right.
Cheers. Sweeter.
All right. I'm going to get out the box.
Okay, there's a little bit. Do you find a little bit more sharpness in the back end? Or is that just because my last sip was tiny and this sip wasn't because I was running out?
I prefer that without the water.
Yeah, I think I prefer the smell of it with, but the taste of it without. But I don't know if the smell is just something that, because you said caramel, that kind
of mellowed out some of the umph that I.
Like,
it's amazing. 3 drops of water can do that.
I know.
But yeah, this particular one I like without the water.
Yep.
And
we said the same thing last week, right?
Well, it's a bit strong. 43.
Okay.
What
do we have in the box?
Since 1897, there has been a quiet revolution unfolding in the heart of Scottish Highlands. High up amongst the smooth, rounded peaks of the Mandalaya Mountains, there's no room for the rugged and robust. Here, patience, a gentle hand, and a passion for purity rule the day. In this idyllic spot, the naturally soft water of the Altnafrith burn is introduced to tender Scottish barley. Later, from the tall, slim copper stills of the Tomatin distillery, a mellow, fruity spirit is born. So we got fruity. Gentle maturation in the cool, stable environment found high above sea level lets the subtle character of this distinctive Highland single malt Scotch whisky emerge. The use of carefully selected casks ensures that the softer characters of the precious spirit are never overpowered. You have heard the myths of this often. Wild and beautiful place, now hear the truth. There is a softer side to the Highlands. There is Tomatin.
Tomatin or Tomatin?
Tomatin. There is Tomatin.
We have to listen to that video again to see if we pronounced it right.
And now we have the notes.
Oh, good. Okay.
And there's no
little booklet?
No booklet inside. The Tomatin 12-year-old is smooth and silky, having been matured in traditional Scotch whisky, ex-bourbon, and ex-Spanish sherry casks. A rich, fruity aroma is the prelude to sweet flavors of ripe apples, pears, and a subtle hint of nut before the long, pleasantly oily finish.
Wow.
Yes.
And I said it didn't have much of an oily finish.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So
I'm completely wrong.
You are completely wrong. But now we know what oily finish is because they're saying this is oily. And it's funny when you said that, and you can go back and watch because I went like this. I'm like, looks pretty oily.
Finish though, not.
I know.
I know, but there's some that I find are really oily. I don't find this extremely oily. But I wonder. I don't know.
Definitely apples and pears. Now that I've read it.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It to me, it's very traditional.
So it's done in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry
Yeah.
casks, which is kind of cool. A couple of innovator awards on the front. Okay, that is what's on.
The embossment on the back.
Is it like a boar?
Oh, that's what's on the top. You mean? Oh, it's a boar's head. Okay. What looked like feet is the top of the ears, and then like the little hair thing at the. Yeah. Okay. A boar's head, and the boar is facing this way.
Right.
Not. Yeah.
That's
okay.
cool. I like it now that I know what.
Now
it
we
is.
know what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So not bad.
So, on to
the big question.
Since I paid for this, Terry doesn't know what it cost.
I was in the store. He didn't cry. So it clearly wasn't, 100 or even close. Would I buy it again? Absolutely, I'd buy it again. I'm very interested in the rest of the tour. So what I'm saying is I'd buy it again, but I do want to explore a bunch of other things first. So
that's true.
Yeah,
There's so many.
Yeah, I know. They're so diverse. The Old Pulteney, I'm going to buy that for home. It's different enough. This isn't different enough from other whiskeys I've tried to make me say I'm going to go out and buy it right away, but I would buy it again. Was it under 75? What was the price?
$66.
Yeah, I would buy this again.
My palate's changing as we go here.
I know.
Now it's more mellow.
Yep.
And I'm enjoying the water. And I just said a few minutes ago, don't like the water.
But would you have felt the same way had you not put the water in? It could be that you're adapting to the alcohol, you're relaxing a little
Yeah, my
more.
first drink.
Yeah.
But now
It does change.
Maybe if I started with the water, it would have been just mellow, sweet, smooth.
Should we change our process?
That's a good idea.
Should we change our process? For those of you who are more experienced in whiskey tasting, because again, this is a very new journey for James and I. We're just learning how to whiskey taste. Enjoying whiskey, we've got nailed.
I think that could be a key.
But that's a question
insight.
we should answer.
And it only took us 12 or 13 weeks to figure that out.
12 bottles, 13 weeks. Yeah, so so if you guys know if we should start with the watered and then move to the non-watered. So next week, where should we go?
This is the Highlands. We're done?
Well, I mean, we could stay for 23 more weeks in the Highlands, but
but we have to move on.
Okay. And that's assuming we pick one per distillery. There's actually like multiple whiskeys per distillery.
So should we pretend we're walking and we have to...
I'm no sucker. Let's at least rent a car.
Okay, so what's the next town?
Well, Speyside technically is encompassed within the Highlands. So we could do Speyside next.
Let's head there.
What do we need to know for next week? Do you want to do a little history on Speyside and a little bit about how many distilleries there are and look that up for us and share that with us?
Nice shirt, by the way.
Let's see what you got on for a watch.
Same old.
James, you got to switch it up a bit. You've got a collection. You got to haul out the collection and dust it off and wind them up.
Wind them up. Winds me up.
Yeah. All right. I think we should pour one more dram and say goodbye to these lovely folks. All right.
And add that to the collection.
There you go.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
See you next week.